Claudio Puelles versus Chris Gruetzemacher. I hope I said that right. It's easier to spell than it is say. At UFC Fight Night on ESPN, bout versus Aldo on December 4th. Claudio is 10-2, winning his last 3 fights and 5 of his last 6. Chris is 15-4. So you got 2 fighters with good records going at it head to head. Now, Claudio trains at Sanford MMA in Deerfield Beach, right here in South Florida. Claudio, thank you so much. How long have you been training at Sanford MMA?
Hello, James. I've been here training in Sanford MMA since February. I made the move from Peru, my home country. I moved to Florida and decided to train at Sanford. It's been a really good experience so far. I feel like I've been developing a lot as an athlete in my time since in Florida. And yeah, so it's been about like 8 months.
What made you decide, okay, I want to go to Sanford MMA? What a great reputation and great facility.
Well, so I was looking for a gym here in, well, actually in the whole United States. And I had Florida in my mind. I had California in my mind. I ultimately decided for Florida because my dad lives here. I had a friend training in Sanford. Also, I see the facility. I see the people training there, the coaches. So I was like, I think that's a good bet for me. So I tried it out, and yeah, I think it's been really a blessing to be here.
I know it's only been 8 months, but do you think or feel that you've grown as a fighter since going to Sanford MMA?
100%, 100%. I've really grown in this time, and yeah, you just said it. It's not even 1 year, but I've made some improvements. I've made some adjustments. I've trained like day to day with top fighters under the tutelage of top coaches, and I believe that's gonna be a difference. Well, it was a difference in my last fight, and it's gonna be a big difference in this one because now I have like 2 camps getting into fight night.
Claudio, who is training you for this fight?
Uh, well, head coach Henri Hooft. In the wrestling, we got Greg Jones, Cami Barcini. We got also Coach Stroud, Coach Nick Lance. Well, I don't know if I'm forgetting someone, but that's in Sanford MMA. Also in the conditioning, I got Ahmed from Symmetry Fitness. He's my strength and conditioning coach. I've also implemented swimming with Coach Julio Aquaman. I was never a good swimmer before, and now we've developed like some really solid technique over the last 2 months. So yeah, I really see some improvements in my cardio as well.
I was going to then ask as a follow-up to the swimming part of it, what has swimming helped you with as far as preparing for a fight? That's a little different type of training.
A lot of muscular endurance for sure. I feel that already. The endurance on my legs, on my back, all of that I train it a lot, and for sure the breathing. Like you know how like you breathe like the opposite way when you swim. Like you gotta inhale in your mouth and like exhale it from your nose. So it really helps you. Really helps you. It's I really always wanted to swim, but I was never very good. So but I never had coaching before, so it was tough for me. But now I'm learning the right way, and yeah, I really like it. It's something I plan to keep doing probably my whole life, even after I'm done fighting and everything. Really good sport, no impact, easy. Like you can go at your own rhythm. Very good.
Well, Claudio, in Peru, were you much of a swimmer then? Were you able to do anything? Were you able to do any of the strokes at all?
Yeah. I mean, I lived in Lima, so we got like everything. But I wasn't training like I should have. I wasn't like I wasn't very, I don't know. I wasn't like disciplined enough back there. I don't know. Just like the lack of fighters, like not having like enough people doing the same as me. Here, everybody's like very driven, and I have a lot of people at the gym, and there are there 365 days a year at the gym. So that makes me like be there as well and get better and help each other out, and it's like a complete job.
Mentally, that must be something that really has helped you as well, because when you're there, you mentioned some of those coaches, all those coaches, it's like a who's who list of top coaches at Sanford MMA. And then you go through all the fighters that are there, that you're sparring with, that you're training with. It's really incredible. What was it like at first for you to see that and then be like, mentally, just be like, hey, I got to get with this. I got to get to this level and do all this?
So at first, when I first got here, it was a little overwhelming because I had never trained with. I've never been in a room full of like top fighters. Like when, so it took me like a couple weeks. Then I started feeling. I started getting in good shape. I started feeling I belong there. You know, I started feeling better every day, and yeah, I'm just like a part of them. I'm gonna be in the top soon, so I better start reliving it.
Who have you been sparring with to get you ready for this fight?
Man, a lot of guys, a lot of top guys, a lot like Michael Chandler, Tofik Musayev, Rafael Fisiev. Man, everyone. I just said like a couple names, but I have so many good guys. Like actually, like I have no easy rounds. Like if I go with the guys my weight, no easy rounds. It's really tough work every day. And yeah, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm going to spar, and like I know I'm gonna have a rough day, but that's what's gonna get me where I want to go. So I better just do it, you know, just like suck it up and go do my work.
Claudio, what do you like about being an MMA fighter?
I really like the how I can choose. Like, I mean, you know, I can choose my own schedule. I mean, there's a schedule at the gym, of course, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't have like a 9 to 5 job. You know, I just like go train like couple 2 3 times a day. Depends on the day. Sometimes even one time only, and then I get to rest. I get to be at my house. I get to enjoy my life. I be outdoors all the time. I can't even go, I don't know, to the beach after training if I want to in the middle of the week. Um, I also being I'm also in shape the whole year, which is something really good. I don't have to like I don't get fat, you know. And yeah, there are a lot of benefits of being an athlete. Like uh, it's very good, very nice.
UFC Fight Night on ESPN, Bout versus Aldo, December 4th. Claudio, what is it like for you to be a part of this card on ESPN?
Uh, I mean, it's a dream, you know, being on TV, fighting on TV, the best show in the world. People like expecting your fight, people like gathering up to see your fight, your friends, your family, all of that. It's really good. But when I go in there that day or that night, like whatever time it is, I'm just like focusing on my job. I'm not like really thinking about that. I know it's gonna be like that. I know all my friends are they're gonna send me the videos after of like them watching my fight together, but I don't even think about that in the day of the fight. I'm just like, okay, I gotta go super hard for 20 minutes. I gotta go. I gotta focus on like give everything for 20 minutes, and then like to put all my like 3 months of training together, and be happy right after with a win.
What do your family and friends then think about you when you decided I'm going to become an MMA fighter?
Well, I was very young back then because I started fighting, like actually fighting, not training, at a young age. So I don't know. At the beginning, maybe they thought it was something I was gonna do for a little. Not really gonna dedicate myself to that. I was telling them, but you know, I was a young kid. I was like in high school, so they probably thought I was gonna do it for a while and then like quit and like go to college and like normal stuff. But I didn't. I just like kept going, and well, I got far pretty quick. So uh, I still need to like keep on climbing that mountain. It's like a long journey.
What is MMA like in Peru?
It was a scene that was growing very well until the beginning of the pandemic. So back in 2019, I think the sport was developing very quick. We had a lot of like amateur events, like crazy amounts of amateur fighters compared to 5 or 6 years ago. Like when I was an amateur, there was not many fights, not many people. I maybe could get like a fight at the prelims of a pro event. But now, well, not now, but in the beginning of the pandemic, there was a lot of events, and people were developing really good. The sport was growing a lot, but with like COVID, everything like stopped. Like events stopped happening, and that really shut down the process of the development of the sport in the country. So now like we just like gotta wait a little until like everything calms down, because over there like it's not like in like here in the United States. It's like in the worst like states, you know how in some places it's like really everything's really shut down because of COVID. Okay, it is like that since 2019. So yeah, well 2020 actually. So we just gotta wait, you know.
Do
I
you
just
miss? Oh, go ahead.
I can do my part for my country. I just hope I can do my part, like by inspiring like young fighters, like to know they can make it far in the sport, like I'm doing.
That's interesting because you are a role model. You are inspiring others. And do you feel good about being able to do something like that? Does that give you any extra motivation?
Yeah, of course. When I get messages like from kids like saying they sometimes I don't know, they tell me their stories. They're like, yeah, I wasn't doing too good in like in my life, but then I found like MMA, and I see like guys like you that are from the same place I'm from, and I see I can do a career from this sport, and you know those kind of messages be like, yeah, I'm doing my thing, I'm doing what I love, and at the same time I'm like inspiring people just by doing what I love. So there's not much more I can ask. It really makes me feel better.
Claudio, did you play other sports growing up?
Yeah, I played like every sport they had in my school. I mean, I tried everything. I competed in everything. Now that you say it, I even competed in swimming back then, but I was really bad. I was really bad. Want anything in that? I was pretty quick, but I have technique, so I like gassed out very fast. I played a lot of soccer. I everything: basketball, volleyball, track, track. Yeah, I I I won a couple medals in that when I was in like elementary school. Yeah, well, every sport they had in school, I did it. I was never the best, but I was always like, yeah, I was like among the best, yeah, for sure.
You enjoyed sports, and that was what I was leading to. Since because you had that enjoyment of sports, did you know, hey, as I get older, I'm going to do something in athletics and sports?
I don't remember. I don't have like a clear like a memory of me saying I'm gonna like dedicate myself to sports. I think I just when I was young and when I was a kid, I didn't behave very good, so I didn't really like thought much about the future until I found MMA. When I found MMA at 13, 14 years old, I decided I was gonna be a fighter. But before that, I don't really remember like saying I'm gonna do this or that.
Claudio, becoming an MMA fighter and seeing the success that you've had, now you have this big fight coming up on December 4th, UFC, biggest promotion in the world. Where do you think a victory gets you? When you win this fight, where do you think that gets you for the next step for you?
I think if I get a finish, I may put myself in a really good position. I don't know, maybe a ranked opponent next or something close to the rankings, which is what I want. Is like the my next task. So yeah, I think a finish would be pretty nice for me, coming from two decision victories. So my last two fights, I think a fight finish would look good.
Do you know yet who will be with you in your corner for this one?
Yeah, head coach Henri Hooft, uh, one of my wrestling coaches, probably Greg Jones, and Enrique, who is my physiotherapist. He lives with me, and we work like a lot every week, like to be in like in really good condition. Like this sports like wears you down a lot, so I'm always trying to stay in like injury free, top shape.
Claudio, that's another thing about Sanford MMA. I don't know, the history of other training centers. I guess you could look back at what you had in Peru, but this is a unique place because you could do so much there, not just fighting training. You can do physical cardio, rehab if you have any injuries, get checked out. There's so much that's there at Sanford MMA. You don't have to go to all these different places. You could just stay right there, a one-stop shop. And I don't know if that's something that attracted you to that as well, or something you learned after you got there. Oh, wow, look at all this stuff that I could do too.
I did learn that after I got there. I just like my main like thing was like the MMA training, the fighters and the coaching. But man, I really couldn't ask for a better place. They have everything in there. They have this sick recovery room. I mean, hot tubs, cold tubs, all these like crazy machines that are worth a lot of money, and they just like put it there, and we can like use them like every day if we want. And right now they're even like they're making like they're like working in the recovery room. They're like making a huge sauna. So because we had a small one, but now they're making like a really good one. They're like implementing like better stuff. They everything that comes out, they buy it. Like it's really, really good and really complete place to be. It just makes your life easier having all that like access to all of that just by being part of the team. So yep, I think I'm at a good place.
How do you like South Florida?
Good. I actually been here before. My dad's been living here as long as I've been alive. So I used to always come every year, visit him. I even lived with him for 2 years here when I was younger. So yeah, I know around. I was more like in the Miami area. Now I'm a little more up north. But I think it's better for my career to be up north. Like a little more low profile. Like not so many parties here. Like I like it. I like South Florida.
Will Dad get to go to any of your fights?
Man, not yet. I really want to take him to one of my fights. So before, I didn't fight in the States, so it was like too far for him to go. I was fighting like in South America, in the UFC events in South America or Mexico, and now that I'm fighting in the States, there's no crowd at the two events I'm gonna. My last fight there was no crowd, and this one there's no crowd, so I can't take him. And I got my coaching field, like the guys who come with me, they're already taking the spots because they train with me, they're my coaches, so I need to take them, so it's a little tough. But yeah, I hope my next fight has like a crowd and I can take my dad, who I know he would like really enjoy being there.
We hope UFC comes back to South Florida here, and that would be great, and have you on the card. And that would be an easy way to be able to do that, because it's really a good, with all the training centers down here, all the fighters down here, the fan base has really grown in South Florida. So it'd be nice to have UFC, and we'll see. Hopefully in 2022, maybe that will happen, and we'll see you on the card. But I want to follow up with, do you miss Peru?
Yeah, of course I miss Peru. I still have my mom there, my sisters over there, a lot of friends. I had my whole life over there, but it came a moment to my life. I realized it was the right time to move here. Might have been before, but mentally it was the perfect time. Maybe I should have come here when I was younger, but I think mentally I wasn't ready to like move, and I just like started thinking in my head there was never gonna come the perfect time, so I just made the move, and it's been really helping me grow as a human being.
Not as much time on South Beach.
What?
Not as much time on South Beach. That's like the big party area of Miami, South Beach.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I haven't been in South Beach in a lot of years. I've like, no, actually that's wrong. I've been in South Beach, but not to parties, but to eat. I went like about a month ago. There's a really good Peruvian restaurant. I'm not gonna give them credits right now, but there's good places in there.
And that's a good one, because if I follow up with that, actually good timing, because I was gonna say to you, so you've been to Miami for Peruvian restaurants, but I'm wondering, there are some up here in the North Broward area, in the Sanford MMA area, I should say. And you don't have to give away any names, but I'm just curious if you found any Peruvian restaurants up here that you've liked.
Man, listen, I got a new hobby since I got to South Florida, looking for the best Peruvian restaurants. I've been to at least like 14 at this point. I've been to all the places, some better than other, but I just want to try all of them. I just want to feel like home, at least in the food wise.
Have you met GSP yet?
GSP?
George St. Pierre.
No, never. I used to look up a lot to him when I was younger. He's a great fighter, but no, I've never met him.
What are your goals now?
Well, like I said a little before, getting ranked. I would really love to get ranked. I'm working hard for that. So that's my goal for next year, probably. Next year I want to get ranked and made some noise, put Peru on the map in the MMA world. Those are my short-term goals. That's like things that I'm like, I don't feel that are very far.
And Claudio, were you ever into boxing? And that's another type of combat sport. Was that something of any interest to you, or strictly MMA?
No, I've never seen much boxing. Now I watch the big fights. I like them. It's pretty cool to watch the big fights. But I never trained much boxing. I was training in stand-up more like kickboxing, Muay Thai based. But I do enjoy watching boxing, man. It's such a cool sport. Very tough, very rough, like 12 rounds, 12 3-minute rounds. Something really good. I'm very well paid.
And you're getting your cardio going, so that's good too. And Claudio, a couple more questions. We'll wrap this up. Thank you so much for the time. Hey, were you ever into pro wrestling? We see MMA fighters and pro wrestlers crossing over and having fun and doing that. I don't know if that's something that interests you as a participant or even as a fan.
Listen, when I was about like 8 or 9 years old, I used to watch pro wrestling a lot. And I remember a couple times I even UFC even crossed like on the channel, and I was like, what is this? Let's get back into it. And I just like switch again and be like, no, WWE, this is the stuff I like. And I don't know, I just like I was so crazy over it. Sometimes now you can watch like everything on YouTube. I remember I used to wait like crazy until Sunday. That was the time they would show the shows in Peru. On Sundays I would like watch it at my grandma's house. I would really wait all week to watch the pro wrestling. I mean, now I don't watch it more, but I would really enjoy going to a live event. Like I would like to go to one. I'm probably gonna do that when they get to Florida.
Do you ever think of someday maybe even trying it yourself?
No, I think it's very, very rough, man. I always like every time I see a show, I'm like, how can these guys how are their knees, their backs, like they be dropping from like this like crazy altitudes and like getting like hit with a chair. Well, you never know. If they offer me like a lot of good money, I might do it, at least like a season.
Well, that's the thing, Claudio. It is. It's very physical. As much as the entertainment is, you can't fake gravity. It's a very physical. It is very physical. So yes,
scripted, but the falls are real. I mean, the falls are still there.
You cannot fake the fall. You cannot fake the gravity. And you see so many with shoulder, back, knees, all different types of injuries and all. And they have to weather that. And they're going week to week. That's the thing too. Yeah. It's no real off season. They just go. They just had a big event this past weekend, Survivor Series. They like sold out Barclays Center for 3 nights. It's crazy. I mean, the fans just go nuts. And they're out there putting their bodies on the line a lot. So it is, you're right. It is very physical. It is demanding in that sense. But there's a lot of entertainment involved with it. And it's just I'm guessing, were you a John Cena fan? Were you a Rock fan? Who are your guys?
I was all about John Cena. That was my guy, man. I was a big fan of him.
You think maybe
The Rock?
Go ahead.
The Rock was a little like before I was watching, like he was already retired. I was more in the John Cena Undertaker was still there. Kane, like no mask Kane. I never saw Kane mask Kane like that was before.
So might we one of these UFC fights hear Claudio Puelles coming out to the Undertaker's theme music or John Cena's theme music?
I remember the John Cena theme music. That was pretty cool. That one was pretty cool. I'm sure somebody's used it already. I'm sure.
Maybe, yeah, maybe they have, but still, you can have Claudio. You can come out to their theme music. That would be so cool.
Well, I mean, I don't know about my walkout song, but I may use it. You just had a good idea. I may use it on some Instagram videos because those are pretty sick, and people are gonna have good, gonna revive a lot of memories if I put some of their music in my background.
Oh, I'm saying come out to when you're coming out UFC, you're coming out to the octagon and you can play the music there. And then you can do one of these.
You can't see me. That's so good. Good memories. Yeah, I remember a lot of guys. Umaga, the time I think he passed away. I'm not even sure. He did.
He did.
I remember, yeah. He was such a strong guy. Mark Henry, I remember as well.
World's strongest man, Mark Henry. You mentioned Umaga with the thumb, the spike.
The Big Show. He was like some like huge Big Show guy.
Big Show lives in Miami, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he lives down here. He lives down here and all. But
he must have retired already, right?
He was, but then a new group started called AEW. And now he's part of them. And he does commentary and he also wrestles occasionally. So he still does it. Mark Henry, world's strongest man, is working for AEW too. And he's doing commentary. He hasn't wrestled in that regard. And he's doing community outreach, team programming, helping the community with AEW as well. They have an outreach team. So Mark Henry's a big part of that. But yeah, it's interesting. And John Cena went into movies. So he's been doing TV and movies, like Rock went huge with TV and movies and all. That's what they're transitioning some of that. But it's interesting, Claudio, for as much as the pro wrestlers wrestle, you could see them in their 40s and even 50. Chris Jericho is 50 years old, 51.
Big Show's at least like over 50.
50's Big Show is up there too. And they're able to somehow be able to continue doing it. It's really amazing for some of them, the length, the longevity of their careers because of the physicality and all. But yeah, sometimes on TV you'll see Big Show still, but it's on a different show, different programming and all, AEW, different night. And there's some of them that are still involved, still getting out there wrestling, competing, or broadcasting and all. So it's a very interesting, and that's why I think too the money is very good in some aspects. So the MMA fighters like a Brock Lesnar or Ronda Rousey, even Bobby Lashley, who's a big WWE star these days, has been in Bellator, been fighting and all. So you see the crossover between them, and there's several others that have been able to cross over. Junior Dos Santos.
It should happen more often. More like crossovers in between, like both ways, like from pro wrestling to MMA and from MMA to pro wrestling. I think it's a good thing, and I'm gonna make sure to check that AEW you said. I probably seen something, but I don't remember. But I'm gonna check it out.
It's a newer group. They've been around 2 years. They're on Wednesday nights on TNT at 8:00. And if you like the action and the matches, they do more of that. WWE does more of the entertainment, the entertaining. Yeah. So it's two different shows, but they all have matches. But you'll see some talent on there and you'll be like, oh, I remember him, because they have young talent and older talent. They mix it up. But Claudio, this has been very good. I want to thank you for the time, for doing this. And do you have any social media, Instagram or Twitter or anything like that for fans?
Yeah, thank you, James, for having me here as well. I really enjoyed the conversation. You can follow me on Instagram, IG. That's where I'm the most. I be like putting my, the stories of my day-to-day, like what I eat, my training, some stuff about my personal stuff, like like my hobbies, some stuff like that. So you can follow me at Claudio_Puelles, Claudio_PUELLES, and you get the blue badge verified, so make sure it's me. Yeah, that's it, man.
And maybe we'll see Claudio doing his John Cena there, whether it be the music or the UK. Yes, there it is. There it is. Wait, you got to do it again, Claudio. Tell us.
What
about John Cena? You got to do the John Cena for us.
For sure. You're gonna watch it sometime
Claudio,
soon.
thank you so much.
Thank you, James.